Hello YouTubes! These three locos all have something in common, and it's not the fact that they're all SD40-2s. No, the thing they have in common is they all run like this. But for the price of $1 each, I'm going to make them all run like this. These locos, although they have different road names and liveries, I think they're all the same manufacturer, and that would be old vintage Mahanos, probably 20 to 30 years old. And the problem is, back then they were making these mass market and they installed the cheapest components they could. So I'm going to be removing the motors from these and replacing them with even cheaper motors. The difference being these are brand new 5-pole motors, but they were only $1 each. But that's just the way the market has gone. We can buy cheaper, better stuff than we used to. Let's start with the noisiest one, or actually I think the other one was the noisiest one, but one of the noisiest ones, the CN SD40-2. So we're going to take the body off, and I'm hoping this is a simple conversion. I've done one of these Mahanos before and it was almost a direct swap. Hopefully it'll be the same on this occasion. So we need to remove the body. First of all, we have to remove the fuel tank, which is also the weight. That kind of slides back and then out. And you can see these sort of hooks here. So when you're putting it back in, it has to go that way and slide back the way. Once we're in here, we can see there's two little clips there, and that's the sort of plastic clip that holds the motor down the way. To get the body off, there should be 2 screws there, but they're missing in this one. So it's just 2 screws, but there is a hook at the back. So we do need to slide this body this way a little bit, and then out. Just got to watch the handrails at the front. Like so. This one doesn't even have the hook anymore. There should be a hook at the back that goes into that little locating hole there. Not to worry. Now, straight off, I can see that this motor is not going to be a direct replacement, unfortunately. The shaft length should be the same, this side and this side, because obviously we're going to have to take off the flywheels there and there, put them on there and there. And obviously we also need to desolder the wires going to the motor. Now, on this particular occasion, we have a red wire going to the lower terminal of the motor. There is a couple of, well, there's one red dot on the motor there. So hopefully, if we just hook up that red wire to there and the black wire, or in this case, the white wire to the other one, hopefully it'll go the right way. But 50-50, you know what this game's like. So we shouldn't even have to remove the trucks from this. We should just be able to remove the motor. We do that, as I mentioned before. There's 2 clips there. And we just push them out the way, I believe. You don't always have to do this. You might actually just be able to lever up the clip. However, this one's a bit different. Yeah, there's tabs there and there on this one, which we're going to lever out that way towards me. Might need to use a pair of pliers because it looks like we're going to have to do them both at the same time. So we've got 2 clips. Pulling this one back and that one back. Maybe give it a wiggle as you do it, and that will come out like so. Drive shafts are obviously trying to escape. Not to worry. Put them back in when we reinstall the motor. So all we have to do then, we're going to desolder that one. Which is the red one, which was actually facing down the way. tell you what we'll do. I'm going to get a little red marker pen, just put a little red dot there so we don't get confused in case it matters. So, red dot there. Now we know. We'll get the other side off. And then obviously we're going to have to take these off. But first, I do want to check and see if we're going to be able to mount this. And it doesn't really matter which way around it goes at this point, because if it's going backwards, then, you know, we can just solder the wires on the other way around. So at the moment, it's not going to fit very nicely. I have had some that just pop straight in and it's a direct replacement, but I don't think it's going to work on this one, so I'm going to have to do some modification. So the first thing I'll do is remove these, put them on there so they can center this. Probably have to cut those things off. I really don't like these motors. They're very jerky and it's no biggie. We can always put them back in if we really, really miss them. But I don't think we will. Leave that off with a big screwdriver or a little screwdriver. There's probably a better way to do this. But that works for me. So, I can pop them on there. Same size as shaft, which is nice. Let's see how much room we have, how much distance we need for these drive shafts. Because we can push these further in if we need to. That one in there. That one down there. Okay, I think we can push them both in just a little bit more. A little bit there. The further in they go, the less wobble that you're going to get when this spins, in theory. Okay, now we have to decide where we're putting this. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut those little tabs off. Sounds pretty severe, but hey, done it before, it's no biggie. Snip you off. Let's go that way. Boing. And your little friend. So, how are we going to attach the motor? You know me, universal motor mount, otherwise known as a hot glue gun. Let's switch that on. Now, before I glue this down, I do want to solder the wires onto the motor, and hopefully we get them the right way around. So let's see, we are going to go with the red dot for the red wire. Let's give that a shot. Let's put a little bit of solder on the motor terminals first, shall we? Bit of flux. And a bit of solder. Let's get our red wire on. I'll get a wee bit of flux in him, a little bit of solder. Make life a bit easier for ourselves. Right, get you soldered on here. Same with the white wire on the other side. So it looks like we have pickup coming from this side and that side. So we're not getting all wheel pickup, unfortunately. Okay, not the end of the world. Bit of flux, bit of tinning. Get you on there. I'm going to whip this over to the track, put the drive shafts in first, and see if it's going in the right direction first. And if it is, we can glue it in and we'll be done. And if it's not, we can swap those wires around, then glue it in and we'll be done. Right, back in a sec. Well, it was 50-50 and I got it wrong. What a surprise. Now, I might just be able to swap the motor round, except that wire doesn't reach. Oh, that's annoying. Right, so I need to swap these wires round. And then I'm going to glue the motor down in position with the drive shafts in, and we'll be done. I keep saying that, but we're nearly there. This is a relatively simple job. Soldered on. Now I've tucked the wires on the inside just to give us as much room as possible for the body to go down the sides. As long as we don't foul up our drive shafts. And dropped it. Trying to escape again. You know what, I need to just chill out. I'm obviously trying to do this too quickly. Not impressing anyone. Just take your time. Do it right. Well, when I say do it right, I just mean, you know, don't make a complete hash of it. Because obviously I am definitely not doing it right. Okay, so we just need to glue the motor in place. Let's check the height. It's in a wee bit low at the moment, but once we pump that area full of glue, it should be fine. Hot glue gun should be ready. A generous helping of glue in here, because we do want to raise it up a little bit. And the more glue you put in at this stage, the more wiggle time you've got before it cools down and sets. So don't panic about getting your drive shafts in too quickly. Don't worry, the glue is still sticky. Drive shafts are in. Obviously we need to position this right in the middle. So centre your bogies. Make sure they're straight, make sure the motor's straight. And positioned in the centre of the chassis. Around about there. I'll just hold that for a wee sec. Make sure nothing's going to rub. Looking good. And when the glue goes all cloudy, that's it set. And that's just fine. Spinning, spinning, nothing rubbing. We can put the shell back on because I know this is going to work. Don't even need to test it. Trust me. Although I think what I'll do at the moment is just put a bit of a splodge of glue up here, just to stop those wires from flopping about. As long as you've got enough room for the trucks to rotate a little bit, we should be good. So let me splodge some glue on that. And that is good to get its body back on, believe it or not. That's all there is to it. A couple of wee hairs of glue just to pick out. But that's good to go. I am so confident. Body's going back on. There's a big splodge of glue. Where do you come from? He must have fallen out the bottom. That's fine. It's not going to get in the way of anything. Body on. All the weight is in the body, by the way. So basically there wasn't really much holding this on. Obviously the weight is holding it on, because you see those hooks? They are what the weight attaches to. So basically, without the weight on, the body's just going to fall off. Okay, one down. Well, I'll put the weight back on, obviously, but essentially that's one down, and we can get on with the next two. Don't worry, I'll show you them all running at the end. Remember, this goes on and slides that way. If I got this in the right way round. Oh, I'm going to have to trim that. It's not sitting flush. Should do it. Also, the weight only goes in one way. There we go. Okay, let me screw these in and we'll move on to the next one. Got some weird coupler pin stuck in like that. That's weird, don't like that. Never use the front coupler anyway. Right, next one. Hopefully this one will have the interchangeable motor. I definitely did a Loco with a straight swap before. Can't remember which one it was. It might have been that red one that you saw at the start. Because I would rather not use the hot glue to hold the motor in place. Need to take our weight off as well. As before, we need to slide it that way. I mean this way, and then out. I'm seeing a different clip system in there. We might be lucky this time. Okay, let us see if we can slide the body off that way. This one also doesn't have a locating pin at the back. I guess that was a different style. So this is exactly the same as the one we just did, unfortunately. So it's going to be exactly the same. Hopefully I'll get the motor round the right, or the wires round the right way this time. But it's exactly the same as the last one. Anyway, let's get this done. Number 2 is done. Don't know if you noticed, I had to actually add a little platform to mount the motor. The chassis must have been very slightly different because it was just, the motor was sitting so low that the flywheels were hitting the bottom of the chassis. Anyway, haven't tested it, I'm sure it'll work. Right, last one. Maybe we'll get lucky with the third one and it'll be a straight swap. Unlikely, knowing the way my luck is going. I need a Phillips for this one, because it looks exactly the same as the other two, but you never know, it might have a different motor. This one says made in Slovenia. I think the other two said made in Yugoslavia, which I think Slovenia became after the whole war thing, you know. So we'll see if they changed their tooling at that point and changed their components a little bit. We shall see soon. So far it's exactly the same. 2 screws holding the weight in, 2 screws holding the body in. Clip looks the same as the last one. I think it's going to be the same again. This one doesn't have a weight in the roof. This one's a lot lighter. And it's got a light beam, so I'm not even going to be able to put a weight in this. Nah, it's exactly the same again. Oh well, we know the drill by now. We're going to desolder the top one. Top one's red this time. We're going to remove the motor. Again, it's got these clips there. Pull that out. Snip these off. Handrails aren't in the way this time. One day I will learn how to make handrails, and all these Locos without handrails will once again have handrails. Okay. Oh, this one doesn't have flywheels either. Oh well, guess we're just taking these off and putting them in the new motor. This one's a bit different. So the red wire was going up there, there's a blue wire going there, and the two black wires I think are just for the bulb, which means there's no pickups in the front of this. So the only pickups in this one are coming from there. So this one is not going to run as well as the last one, even with a new motor, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest, but hey. So we're going to be playing the guessing game again. Other than the black wires, I know where they go. Just one black wire in each. It's incandescent bulbs, so it'll work in either direction. Okay, let's remove these. Oh, these are nice and tight. Can be a wee bit trickier to get off than the flywheels though. That's okay, I like nice and tight. Means they're not split. Okay, new motor. Same fit again, thank goodness. Okay, this time I'm going to check with the height first before I glue, because the last one was a right mess because I had to add the platform. We'll see if this one's going to behave. Well, this time we don't have the flywheel, so we should be okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. Although they're going to be a bit lower. Although once the glue's in, it should raise the height a little bit up to it there. Okay, as usual, let's solder on some wires, see if we get it the right way round, and then continue. Bit of flux there, bit of flux there. Bit of solder. Let's try red on red for a laugh. You never know, we might get it right this time. I know, I should really hook up some sort of power supply, and then I'll know for sure. Where's the fun in that? Right, whip this over to the track, back in a sec. Guess what? Wrong way around. Very frustrating. I wonder if I could just swap the motor over this time. These wires look like they might be long enough. And I'll just spin it round. Yeah, we can do that. That makes life easier. Okay, so I still need to hook up the two little black wires. Let's get these drive shafts out of the way before I melt them or something silly. These little black wires are just for the headlight. Messed that up, need to do it again. Try not to burn myself. And the other black wire. Okay, that's our wiring done. Right, time for the glue. Which way round do you want to go? Do you want to go that way? I don't like how this wire is routed right over the drive shaft. That's a bit nasty. But hey, if it was working before, it'll work now. Okay. Hot glue. Drive shaft. In you pop. Other one. And there. And stick you down in the middle-ish. Make sure the drive shafts aren't going to come out. Oh, looks good there. And that's it. Get the shell back on and we will be good. 3 successful motor installs. Are you horrified yet? Ah, come on. If we can turn a budget toy loco into a nice running loco that you're proud to run around your track, then why not, eh? Why not? That doesn't look as if it's doing much there. That clip looks like it's sitting a bit proud. Just low quality stuff, I'm afraid. You can go back in. Try not to break my remaining handrails. Looks good. Still turns, still turns. Get my body screws back on. And my gigantic weight. I'm trying to remember now where on earth I did find the loco that had the direct replacement for this motor, for the new motor. It's really quite annoying. And we're done. It is time to get to the track and see if we've made any improvement whatsoever. Let us begin with Canadian National 5003. If I can get it on the track, there we go. So what we're looking for here is a quieter and smoother crawl and general running. Right, let us give it some power. Wee bit fast off the mark there. Let's try that again. That's a bit nicer. If I can hold the camera steady enough, you'll see how smooth that is now. Right, let's see it going round the track. Much quieter and smoother. So even though it's got a nice new motor in it, it's still got the old gears. So we are still a wee bit limited in the running and the noise, but I think that's far nicer than it was. If it makes it round the track in one piece, I'll be delighted. Almost there. Now, let's bring it to a gentle stop. Gentle stop. Lovely. Moving on. Algoma Central. This was actually a gift from James at Dundas Junction Railroad. Dundas Junction Model Railroad. You know James. Right, this, in theory, should be exactly the same. Yes, this motor's a wee bit noisier, although this is the one that doesn't have the extra weight in it. Still pretty smooth though. That sounds like wheel noise. I think the wheels need a good clean, but it's still nice and smooth. Right, a bit more power, getting round the track. Maybe just needs a few laps round the track. Still pretty smooth though. Pretty sure that is just wheel noise we're hearing though. Let's give him a bit more speed or we'll be here all day. Oh, that was me that turned it off, by the way. There we go. Nice. And finally, chassis system, B&O. Oh, he doesn't have a number. Need to dream up a number for this one. Okay, let's go. Third time also lucky. Oh, that's a nice little creep there. Yummy. Best one yet, I think. Oh, this is definitely the quietest. So these have all got the same motor, but obviously this one's got nicer gears. Oh, that's that dead spot in my track. Just that little join right there. I need to repair. Anyway, back to chassis. A wee bit more speed. That was kind of unfair trying to get it to slow down on a bend, but you get the idea. Much quieter, much smoother. So the point I'm trying to make with these cheap upgrades is these $10 or $20 Locos you find at train shows that no one wants because they're toys and they run a bit jerky and noisy. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a Loco unless you've got hundreds of dollars to spend on a Loco. But don't be put off by the cheaper stuff because it doesn't take much. $1 for a new motor, a bit of detail, maybe a bit of weathering, and it can run almost as good as a $200 or $300 Loco. You could even add a decoder chip to that if you really want. I am more likely to run these Locos now that they're a bit quieter, a bit smoother, beforehand. These guys lived in a box. So there you go. Thank you to my lovely Patreons, channel members, and of course my gift givers, and of course all my lovely subscribers like yourself, hopefully. I'm away to play with my newly refurbished, restored, upgraded Locos. Bye for now.